Hello and welcome back to the Let's Glow Show. It's Amanda Sweet, the Creative Fairy Godmother, and I help people get fly, make friends, and save the world through events and community building. And today is a super duper special day. Every day is super special, but today is exponentially special. The guest that we have today is a multidisciplinary artist, engineer, a painter, a musician, a producer, an amazing friend, a confidant, someone that is a huge muse to me. I talk about this person every single week on the show, no matter what we're talking about, no matter who we're talking to. This amazing person I've chosen to spend the rest of my life with. This human is my best friend, my husband, and all around amazing human, Lebree Jones. Welcome to the Let's Glow Show.
Thank you for having me. Good
Yes,
morning.
of course. Thank you for waking up so early. It's a super early episode. We're up at 6:45 because Breezy's a busy man and we got to get it in where we fit it, right?
Hell, so are you. Busy
Awesome.
woman.
We
Yeah.
try. And also, like, we had a long talk about this. I was like, I'm not good at night. Like, we talked about doing it after work. And everybody that's on the show is always like, it's 8 in the morning. I'm dying. It's so early. But I'm like, you do not want to see me at 5:45. Like, I'm not the same person that I am at 5:45 a.m. as I am at 5:45 p.m. I'm like a wrung out face towel. I don't
Yeah,
know.
we're
But
opposites in that regard for sure. You get
exactly,
up
which is
you get up bright and early and you're ready to go. At 5:45 I'm just getting started.
right. I know. If we could live how we wanted to live, it would be like I'd be up during the sunshine and you'd be up all night long and sleep during the day. We get glimpses of it, but anyway, tell everybody who you are, what you do, and all the things that make you happy. Not all the things, but you know.
um I'm Lebree. Uh as Amanda said, I'm an artist. I do paintings, digital art. Um, I make music, I DJ, uh, furniture, um, and I also, during the day, I'm an engineer for an automotive supplier. So just get I do whatever interests me the most at the second. You know.
And right now, what is it?
Right now, I'm into a little bit of the AI art and painting. So I'm
Okay, tell
trying.
me what AI art means for those of us
So
that don't know.
uh, well, with the AI, it's like artificial intelligence, and you can basically type in a prompt, and it'll spit out an image or a video. So you'd say like, "Hey, I want to see puppies surfing," and then it'll generate an image of puppies surfing, and then it's interesting. So
And I know you're using this in a different way than most people that I know that are using AI. Tell me a little bit how about how you're integrating your AI to your current art flow.
well, so for like live performances, I'm using the AI art as like uh, visuals for like music performances. Um, and right now, I'm trying to figure out how to get my physical paintings and stuff like that into the AI and have the AI inform the paintings and the paintings inform the AI. Kind of get some type of loop here,
Yeah.
you know. So
Well,
super excited about
I've never heard of a VJ before you. And
it.
it's I'm sure it's existed, but when you first said VJ, like what was it, like a year now, maybe 2 years ago? I think maybe a year ago now. I was just like, what is a VJ? What did they do? And now
Oh,
seeing you transition from DJ, well, you're still DJing, but to also influencing the visuals of the experience, it's been interesting. And I've been exposed to so many other VJs in the area, like I don't know who's coming to mind, Gutter and uh, Mystic Panda and Tony and all of those awesome people. Like you guys are
yeah,
doing the thing and making the music experience an immersive experience. Talk a little
yeah.
bit about that.
That's really the goal. Is just to tickle all the senses, whether it's audio, visual. If we do an event with you, you get make everybody feel at home. So it's really just trying to make everybody the most comfortable and make the performance as exciting as possible. You know, so
Absolutely.
that's really the main goal. And
This-
just to have fun. So it's always good to broaden your skill set. Dive into divergent, you know, thought paths and work streams. So it's super fun in that way.
I love that about you. That is one of my favorite things about you. You said just have fun. And I remember on
Yeah.
our first date, I was like, okay, you're perfect. You're like everything that I'm looking for. You check every single box, and boxes I didn't know I had. You like made them and checked them, as you say for me. And I was like, why are you single? And you're like, I just want to have fun. And in that moment, I was like, oh, like he's not serious. He's not looking for a relationship or whatever the case may be. But to this day, you're just on a mission to have fun and explore and experiment and adventure. And it's exciting for me because I can get stuck in my ways and I could get very like one path minded. Well, my one path mind is very like, it's got a lot of tangent paths, but I don't know that fun is always at the forefront of my mind, or it wasn't before. It was always like success focused and goal driven. And now being your partner, I'm like, how can we play? How can we have fun? And I really admire that about you. And I'm just kind of curious where that came from or where it comes
Um,
from.
what the desire to have fun?
Yeah.
I guess it's a desire that we all have. What is success if it's not fun? You know.
Mm.
So I mean, the desire to play, the desire to paint, the desire to experiment is, I guess, something that's always been deeply ingrained in me. Um, you know, I don't know if I have a specific example of where it comes from, but uh, you know, it's something that I need to do.
Mhm.
It's not something that I want to do. It's something that I need to do. I need to get this extra energy off some kind of way, and so it has to come out through music or art or you know something.
Right. It's just like pent up inside of you. When I
Yeah.
see your work ethic is teaching me a lot, like constantly every single day you're touching your work. You're like, even if it's for 5 minutes, I see you like run down to the basement, which is where you are right now. And you're like, no 0 days, no 0 days. You say stuff like that all the time. And where did that come from? Because I grew up around people who like will procrastinate to the last minute, do a huge sprint to get to the finish line. And then there's like this long rest period. So it's like rest period, sprint, stress, sprint, stress to get to the end goal. And I see you just like touching work every day and just getting a little bit further every day and taking this consistent road. Like, where did that come from?
Um. Well, I'm a nerd. Definitely. I've always been good at school and kind of long term projects. A lot of the work that I do is long term projects, and it really what I've learned is as opposed to crunching all at once, that stresses me out. Just got to take little bites off of it, and if you keep taking those little bites, at the end, you can finish a huge hamburger or whatever, whatever you're working on. So everything's incremental. That's something that my dad's always instilled into me. Um, so whether you're learning how to play the piano or uh, trying to finish that book or whatever you're interested in, you just gotta keep taking little chips away at it. You know.
It's crazy how my brain didn't understand the concept. Like, because I'm so ingrained in this like crunch experience and like
Mhm.
grew up in this like, okay, like the only way to get to a goal is to like stress sprint it out. Like, it's taken us a long time, and you've taught me so much about like, let's just start 1 week earlier, let's start 1 day earlier, let's start 1 hour earlier. And I used to fight you on it. And I said this the other day, I was speaking at GVST for the Cordier Detroit event, and they were asking about, they were talking about power and things like that. And I had mentioned how you challenge me, and sometimes you say to me, like, why can I not challenge you? Like, I'm challenging your thoughts, I'm challenging your theories. And the least we could do is just have a discussion about it and talk about the challenge that I'm fighting against, which is preparing longer term in advance. But in my mind, it was like, this is the way, you know? And it wasn't until you were like, just see what happens if you come to the other side of starting a little bit earlier. How does it feel? And I remember we did one of our revamped clothing swaps, and we were so prepared in advance that we actually had time to do a couples massage that morning. So like we went to the couples massage, we went out to brunch, and then we went to the swap, and we were just like noodly, like comfortable, and just that feeling. It was like in that moment, it was like, oh, like I don't have to like put myself out physically in order to do this thing that I want to do all the time, you know?
My goal is for everything to just be smooth. I don't like huge hills and mountains to climb in like limited amount of times. I like to be able to, you know, get there, look around, and kind of make some decisions rather than kind of be like panicked. So that's the way I move.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it because I didn't know any different before you. And there's so many other things that I learned. And I feel like one of the reasons why I wanted to invite you today to talk is because of the experience that we most recently went through. And the reason why I want to talk to you is not just to tell the story of what we went through, but to kind of discuss the experience as a whole and the way that we just went about it. And I'm immensely proud of our family and how we've processed through this experience. And a lot of it has to do with the way that you move and your energy. And so I'll bring it back a little bit. And I don't know if you want to kick it off. Maybe.
Well, Amanda and I recently had an experience where we lost a baby that we were expecting to have in September. Uh, yeah, it's just been kind of an eye-opening experience. It's like kind of go from you know all the excitement of planning for the baby and whatnot, and then kind of you end up at the emergency room, and then all that planning and preparation and excitement kind of turns into dread and sadness, and but kind of I think our families stepped up big time. We had support. uh we stood up for each other, and we did uh rituals to you know kind of cope with the cope with things. And um yeah, it's tough experience, but I think we're both stronger for it.
Yeah, absolutely. So every day or every time I do the Let's Glow show, before the show starts, I ask the person that I'm interviewing if there's anything that they want to not talk about. And Lebree and I had discussed for a while, like how we were going to announce our pregnancy to the world. And we had this big photo shoot planned actually for the weekend that I experienced the miscarriage. And that was going to be like the shoot where we make this announcement. I was so excited about it. And every single time I do the Let's Glow show, I literally told everybody, I was like, I'm pregnant. And some of them knew it. I was like, I'm pregnant. Don't tell anybody. We're not ready to tell people. We don't have our like extravagant plan figured out. And I remember like this whole time, like you've been teasing me because I literally tell every single person that I encounter at any point, anywhere, ever. I was just like, I'm pregnant. Like so excited about it. And so like over the moon about it and excited to bring a new person into our family with you. And I'm really glad that I did it because I feel like, you know, there's the stigma around talking about your pregnancy too early because of the possibility of miscarriage within the first trimester. And I don't know, like, I feel like if I didn't tell everybody and we didn't celebrate the baby as much as we did, like the second I told my girlfriends, like they all came over that weekend. They brought a cake, we had food, we like hung out, we celebrated the baby's life. We were all excited about it. We were celebrating this next chapter. That was like the first big thing. We shared it with our parents on our birthdays. So we found out on January 2nd. I remember it was we usually take that week off for our birthday because our birthdays are January 6th and 7th. So my whole life we've having to go back to school on my birthday. So we've decided as an adult couple that we're never going to do that. We're just going to take that whole week off. So I remember like I have PCOS, which causes my periods to be irregular. And we've been trying for, I don't know, 3 years now to have a baby. And I've had a miscarriage before. It was very early on. It was like almost as soon as we found out, we lost it. And we've been through fertility testing and things like that. And that has been stressful on us and not really my bag. I wasn't really into all the testing. It was not fun for me. And it made a super fun experience, very like robotic and mechanical and medical. And I just didn't like it. But I remember finding out, I was like in the bathroom and I was like, let me just do this. My period's been a little while. Let me just like see what's going on. And you were on the phone because there was some weird package debacle at work, even though you were supposed to be on vacation. So you're on the phone and you have your work voice on and I'm in the bathroom and I'm like peeing on the stick. And next thing I know, I'm like, I just went about my business because I was not expecting it to be positive, like at all. Like that was not, the intention was to kick my period off because usually that's what happens. My body's like, oh, you're not pregnant. Okay, my period comes. And it had the double lines. And I was like, oh, what does that mean? And I have a box of like 200 pregnancy tests in the bathroom. And so I just did like 7 of them. I was just like, okay, let's just double check, triple check, quadruple check. But they were all positive. And I remember you coming out and I was like, are you done? You're like, you done working? You're like putting it down for the day? And you're like, yep, I'm done. I was like, you got a whole week off. And now I was like, what are you going to do with your whole week? And you're like, this is such a gift. And I remember the time between I peed on a stick and you getting off the phone was like 45 minutes. And it was the longest 45 minutes of my life. Like the longest I'm like pacing around the house. My hands are like shaking. My feet are all cold. And I was like, I need to like do this in a cute way. So I found a little gift bag. I put it under the Christmas tree and I was like, I got you a gift. And I don't know. You want to share your experience after that?
Yeah, I mean, definitely going from work mode to like, hey, here's a little gift. And I open the gift and there's a test in there. I'm like, what is this? And then she's like, I'm pregnant. And then I was like, oh wow, it's like the from 0 to 1,000 type moment, So it was definitely crazy, like not expecting that, and we'd been trying for 3 years, like Amanda said, and just after a while you're just kind of like, I'm not sure, if this will happen, and then to get that surprise was just mind blowing,
Yeah, and it was life changing for us, like especially I don't know, like I mean you definitely were on this roller coaster with me.
It kicked us into high gear. It's like, well, all of our childish pursuits, we got to pause these for a second, get our act together.
What was the first thing that we did?
Financial planner like the second day, like all the stuff that we were thinking about doing. We were gonna shoot
the shit. Exactly. We were literally gonna like just drive to Chicago like that next day. That was the plan because we didn't have anything to do that week. We were like, oh, let's go
Yeah.
do whatever the hell that we want. And then, yeah, we were like, oh, okay. We met with the financial advisor. We like, I don't know. We just dove in. It's 2
Yeah.
Capricorns in a house. We were like, let's turn this ship around. And yeah, we
got
changed.
that huge calendar that was, like
Oh
5 foot
yeah,
tall. We got a little
it's right
whiteboard.
there.
We were, documenting what week it was, and we had this app that told you what stage the baby was in
The What to
every week.
Expect app.
Yeah.
Yes, that was great. The What to Expect app was great. The book was great. I'm currently seeing a dietitian, and so we changed up our whole plan. And you know, it was like everything changed. We became parents immediately, and it's like we changed the way that we were eating. We changed the way that we were financially moving in the world. We started meal prepping, and like everything changed. Everything changed. Our relationship with our parents changed. I feel my relationship with my sister changed because I asked her to be our godparents. Like it just kind of everything changed, and then to have it all change so fast and then change so fast again. I was telling someone else, I was like, it's like double whiplash because we were all like 11 and a half weeks in. So that's like, and we found out pretty early. We thought we were 8 weeks in when we got our first ultrasound, but we were only 6 weeks, 5 weeks. We were early. It was very early. So I don't know. It's crazy to experience like parenthood and not get to go full term and then have it like taken away, And just to share the story of how it all happened, I remember that the night, it was last Wednesday, and that night I was having like a serious gout flare. I was so uncomfortable. Like my body was just like, it felt like it was like rejecting my foot. And it was like excruciating pain. And I was like very against taking any like, ibuprofen, Advil, any of that stuff. I was just like very anti, like nothing. I was putting no toxins in my body. Everything was like super fresh and natural. And so I was like adamant about that, but I was so uncomfortable. And you set me up my little foot bath outside in the living room at like midnight. And then, came and changed it again at like 2 and then again at 4. And I just remember sitting out on the couch, like all covered up in a comforter and just like sleeping like this. And I went to the restroom at like 4 a.m. and saw some spotting that was very concerning. And then again at 4 a.m. or 6 a.m. that looked more like a period. And we made the call about 8 a.m. to call our OB, and they advised us to go straight to the emergency room. And after that, it was just this huge, like, it was like there was somebody waiting at the door when we got there. Like I've never been to the emergency room conscious before. I'll put it that way. And so like there was a guy waiting there who's like waiting with a wheelchair and pointing us all in the right direction. And second I got in there, somebody was like, it was like I got in, they asked for my name and they started taking my vitals. Like, like while I'm giving them the information, they were like putting the blood pressure test on my arm and like taking my temperature and stuff like that. And it just all happened. It was happening so fast. And then it was long. It was fast and then it was long. It was like an hour-long ultrasound. And the woman that was doing my ultrasound was like it was like it seemed like it was like her second week at work because she was training with the other woman that was in there. So that was uncomfortable because I'm feeling like I have to like appease them and be polite and be like kind and respectful. And also like I'm uncomfortable. I'm in a weird situation and you're also training on my body, and it was weird. It was weird. And then we got the news like almost immediately after the ultrasound was over. And I don't know, it was just kind of like I don't know. How did you feel when the nurse came in and let us know that there was no heartbeat?
At the very second that it happened, I was kind of cold and indifferent. It took a little while for it to really kick in. you know.
Mm-hmm.
Just a lot of, a lot of stuff going on. Just kind of had to keep moving, So it's like, okay, got the news, and then went home, and then you know, immediately our parents started showing up, and
Yeah.
that was beautiful. It was good,
Yeah.
good for everybody to come through and love on us, But
Yeah.
I didn't really. I mean, it hit me at that point, but I didn't really have enough time to react. That was kind of uh, entertaining, I guess. Just kind of, oh, okay, got a
Yeah.
bunch of people
Yeah.
coming over.
Right. That was a sorry, I'm just fixing my nose right here. Yeah, that was I'm still trying to decide and decipher if that was good or bad. I
I
mean,
think it was
it
really
was
good.
good because it was the way that it was, but I felt like I went into hostess mode because there were so many people here. It was like my mom, my dad, my sister, my bubby, your mom. And I felt like I was exhausted and I was still like actively in pain. I was like cramping really bad and still bleeding and still processing. So it was like and mind you, these cramps are like next level cramps. They weren't like menstrual cramps. They were like whatever miscarriage cramps look like, and
Yeah.
so in my mind, like in retrospect, I'm still like teetering on that. So I appreciate you saying that because I need your positivity to know that is how it was supposed to happen. Like I remember mom
Yeah.
kind of
I mean, it's good to have other adults that have been through similar situations. It's like, if you really needed something or if you had questions, there's other moms there that went through similar things, or if not, you know, have some level of experience. If you ask me, I'd be like, go and Google if we need to go to the doctor. So it's like good to have some female common sense around.
yeah,
They definitely recharged us a little bit. It was
yeah,
good to have them. So
yeah.
I wouldn't do it any other way.
I appreciate that because I've been overthinking some of like the comments and like some of the things that were said, like comment about the dust on our vents and how cold it is in the house and things like that. And I think I'm hyper fixating on it because I just started coming back to work this past week and so it's been 2 days in on the job after being off for like a week and a half and I got the flu right
Yeah,
after like so we
I
went to
was
the
getting
emergency
over the.
room on Wednesday.
Yeah, I
I
was
thought I
just
was
getting
out.
over
I
it.
thought I was clear. But yeah, we went to the emergency room on Wednesday and then on Friday went in for the DNC surgery, which was to extract the remaining tissue to ensure that I wasn't going to get an infection or something like that. And then I got home from the hospital and then immediately started feeling ill. And then that Saturday I was just like it took me out and
Yeah.
we went to the urgent care on Sunday and the nurse walked in and she's like, "Yep, you have the flu." Like I was like, "Fuck is happening?" I was so distraught. I was like, "Is this real right now? Is this what is happening?" Like
Yeah.
after all of this shit, now I have to like go through this. And she was like, "It'll be around. You'll be sick for a week, and then it'll kind of linger, and you'll be fine." And just like for another week I have to deal with this and I'll be honest, like people were like, well, your body just needs to rest and your body's asking for time for you to process this shit. And I was like, fuck you, but I'm just sick. Okay, like I'm
Yeah.
sick and I'm mourning and like we're processing all of this shit and this is not helping me you know and so I just felt like I was being, and maybe just this whole experience is like clouded by you know the overarching awful experience that it was and this is why I need you in my life, because these moments and like little moments where I start to hyperfixate on something that was said or something that was like that rubbed me backwards, you're always like bringing back the positive. And this whole time you've been nothing but like positive and encouraging and supportive. And I don't know, like I would not have wanted to do this with anybody else. Like you're literally the only person that I could ever see myself going through this experience with. Not that it was something that I wanted to go through with you, but the fact that I went through it with you, like, makes me feel so much more capable, you know?
Yeah,
I don't
I
know.
think it brought us closer together for sure. And I'm
Yeah.
excited to try again. You
Yeah.
know.
It's there's all the positives. It's like, okay, well, we got pregnant and we got further along than we've ever gotten before, and that's a positive sign, and we are capable of getting pregnant, and all of those like things where it's like, okay, well, at least you know you're capable and you get to try again, and that doesn't stop the suck, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
And it's hard going back to work because now I feel like everybody's asking about the baby, how's the baby? How's the
Mhm.
baby? And my mom was like, well, that's why you don't tell anybody, and blah blah blah. And so I'm fighting with some of my inner demons where it's like, yes, this is the way that I wanted it to go, and I wouldn't have done it any different. Why did I tell everybody, like every person that I ever talked to? I don't know.
Well, we learned. I mean,
Yeah.
it only happens so many times. So I mean, we did what we did. Can't go backwards. I think
Right.
you know, just living life.
Yeah. And saying it out loud, I really wouldn't have done it any different. Like, we announced it at the
Yeah,
clothing swap. We told all of our friends, like every single one of our friends, like, loved on us, loved on that baby. Like so many people cried. Like, the amount of people that cried when I told them I was pregnant was like ridiculous, like unexpected amount of people. Like
yeah,
Kevin, for example, he was just immediate tears. Kevin and Mirage just like immediately crying. Like, you guys
I
are
didn't know
amazing. I love you
that.
guys so much. I'm so happy you guys are gonna have the coolest baby, and just like all of that, all of that emotion. Like, I would never ever want to take any of that back.
Yeah,
Like, all of it was valuable. And even now, like, the conversations that I'm having, and I was called to make a post about it, partially because I told so many people, and I knew that if I posted it on Instagram, at least some of the people that I told would know, and then would approach me differently when they saw me, instead of being like, how's the baby?
yeah,
Which is something that I was like actually scared about. I was like, how am I going to respond to like random people when they ask me how the baby is when they don't even really know my name, but they know I'm pregnant?
yeah,
It's like, that's how many people I told.
yeah,
Um, so that was part of the reason that I made the Instagram post. But the other part of the reason was just because I kept waking up like that whole week you were working and I was at home sick, like thinking about what I was going to say. And it was like every morning I woke up, it was like, say this, say that, say this, say that. And so when I started feeling like human again, I was like, okay, I just need to like get it out of my body because my body's like waking me up and like telling me to write this down.
yeah.
Um, and I was not expecting that response. Like, I don't know what I was expecting. I wasn't really expecting much. I was just
Tell me
expecting
about
a couple.
the response you got.
It was like overwhelming. Like phone calls, text messages, DMs, comments. Like, in the first 5 minutes of the post, we probably had like 50, 60 comments, like in the first 5 minutes. And so it just was like all day.
Yeah,
And for the next several days. And even today, I'm still like, because I haven't posted anything else yet, it's still, in there. But it was like so many people sharing their story, so many people talking about their experience with miscarriage, their experience with infertility, their experience with losing a child, whether they be born already or not. So many people like just feeling for us and praying for us, but it was like a crazy amount of people were just sharing their story with us and sharing their experience with us. And some of them were so sad, like just so sad. Um, it was crazy. It was like, I was not expecting that. I felt like, I told my sister, I was like, it felt like I was at a funeral procession. Like, you know,
yeah.
but I'm glad I did it. you know. Um, I wouldn't have not done it, you know.
Yeah.
And I do think, and we talked about this before, like, I don't think it was a brave thing to do. It just felt like the thing I needed to do. Sorry.
Hmm.
But I don't know.
Guess. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I was gonna say. I guess it seems to be a lot more common than maybe I recognized. And
Right.
I think when people say that it's brave, I don't think I don't think people talk about it as much. They, they'll if you go on the web, the rule is, hey, don't tell anybody till after 12 weeks because something could happen. So I think a lot of people
Right.
just go through this in kind of silence. So, um, you know,
Which is so sad to me. It's like, the amount of, I was surprised by the amount of men who also commented on the post, um, sharing their experience with their wives, and um, the amount of women, obviously, that were sharing with me their experience, like, was crazy. And it was like, you know, it felt really good that I got to share that space with these women and give them the opportunity to share their story, and the opportunity to talk about it out loud on like a public platform. Because I feel like that was maybe, hopefully, for the people that wanted to share and did share, healing for them. I the first day back at work, a woman who is her name is Dana, I call her Miss Dana. She's menopausal. Her whole business is about like bringing awareness to menopause, and she's got tinctures and stuff like that. So obviously she's like well past the age of having children. And that was the first thing that she shared with me. She was like, I never told anybody. It's been over 20 years. Like, I went through that experience too. And so many women were just sharing that with me. Um, but the men too, like, I feel like I don't know that I've ever heard a guy ever talk about miscarriage ever in my life. Um, and I'm kind of wondering what your experience was like through the whole thing.
um, I mean, well, I guess going back to your comment about being brave and not being brave, I haven't looked at the comments on that yet. 'Cause I wasn't. I don't know. I don't know if I wanted to wade through it. Uh,
Yeah.
so I think, yeah, I think it is brave. I mean, whether you meant to be brave or not
Yeah.
is kind of irrelevant. But it's a bold move to kind of put yourself out there and um, you know deal with whatever the repercussions are, whether they're good or bad. So I think you know I think it's definitely a brave move. Uh,
Thank you.
uh, and I guess as far as what does it feel like as a man to go through this experience?
Yeah.
Uh, I mean, it's definitely eye opening. I mean, as far as learning, seeing gaps in you know my preparation for you know for having a baby.
Mm.
Uh,
What do you mean?
I guess uh, it's kind of as we learned about having the baby, we started going into preparedness mode. We kind of start seeing little gaps, and
Mm-hmm.
we started making all these changes. I mean, I guess that was really beneficial. I hope that we kind of keep moving in that same way. You know, I don't want to lose sight of that focus that we had.
Mhm. That was next level.
Yeah.
It was next level. We were clear. We understood what the mission was, and we were like all in, all
Yeah.
in. So I feel like we're now trying to figure out what that new
New clarity or
all
new
in
mission
all in
is. Yeah.
goal mission
Yeah.
is. And anyway, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. So you were saying your experience
No,
with all of this as a
yeah, I guess it's kind of keeping my eyes on that mission focus, or locking into a new mission focus, and it's kind of difficult for me to talk about, I guess.
yeah.
Uh, you kind of go from all these exciting conversations to kind of or you might like yesterday I got somebody excited, like, oh, how's the baby, and oh, we
Yeah.
lost it. But then I don't want to talk about it anymore. I find myself kind of minimizing it. It's like, okay,
Mm.
not it's kind of like, oh yeah, these things happen. All right, let's.
Is that how you feel though? Like you don't want to talk about it with strangers or other people. I'm a lot more open with our life than you are, but is it something that you want to avoid thinking about, or like is it feel like it's minimized in your life, or you just want to minimize it with strangers or
I
like
guess I
coworkers?
guess I usually. I mean, uh, I kind of feel like a lot of times I just, well, a lot of the situations, maybe I'll be working, or there'll be like more passive conversations. And it's like, hey, yeah, I don't want to
Yeah.
do this all day, or I, I yeah, I prefer myself to keep it close in a way. Um, just I don't even know how to really explain it. I guess maybe there's something in me uh, that doesn't want to emote all over everybody.
And
It's
we are
like
the
even
opposite in that
e-
way.
like if I think about when our parents came over, I was kind of keeping it all together, and it's kind of as
Right.
soon as they left, I kind of broke down, and you know, but
Yeah.
uh,
But those are your
I don't
parents. I
know.
mean, even still, it's like, those people are in your inner circle. And it wasn't until it was like the core circle that you were ready to feel the feelings, you
I
know?
guess I don't like feeling feelings.
Oh, I mean,
I
you feel
mean,
feelings with me, you
yeah,
know?
yeah,
And I feel very special and very lucky and blessed that I get to be the person that you share those feelings with,
yeah,
you
yeah.
know? Uh, like I will say, I was also, I don't know what I was expecting, but after our parents left, the reaction that you had, that because I thought you had it all together. I thought you were fine, because all day you were just like very, I don't know, the word stoic is coming to mind, but I don't exactly know what stoic means. That like
Yeah.
cool, like calm. Is
Yeah,
that the
keep it
word?
together. Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
yeah. So all day you were like, all smiles and jokes and like cool, calm, and collected, and be your normal like host self, and very accommodating, and just like very supportive of everybody's needs. Everybody's needs. Like you're constantly checking up on me, constantly checking up on our moms and my dad and my bubby and my sister, and just taking care of everybody like you do. And so I was just like, he must not, I don't know what I was thinking. I wasn't thinking that you didn't care, but I was like, oh, he's just got his shit together. He's okay. Like he's fine. And then when everybody left, and just like seeing your emotional wall kind of come down, and kind of it made me kind of relax a little bit, and lean into the feelings. And I was nervous that I was gonna have to keep it pent up like that forever. Cause that's how I mean, throughout that day, I was just
Yeah.
like, is this how we're handling this? Is this, is this okay? Is it just like over? I didn't know, and I didn't have enough time to like chew on those thoughts because everybody
Yeah.
was in our face, and in the nicest way, but nobody
Yeah.
wanted to talk about it. Nobody wanted to even like acknowledge why they were over, like it was very much like, we're here and we're supporting you, but we're going to avoid the topic altogether, and kind of
Yeah.
avoid.
What do you say?
I know, but it's also like, for me as someone that's like actively experiencing it, it was a
Yeah.
lot to kind of just like,
Yeah.
I mean, I was doing it, but it was taking a lot of energy. It was taking a lot of energy for me to just be like, everything's fine. Like, we're okay. Don't worry about us, and
Yeah.
not a lot of people, you are like the most intimate person that knows this about me, but like I have a very large social battery, but when it's out, it's out. It's
Yeah.
like out, and like it was out. I was out. Um, and but it was a relief to like see you feeling so deeply about the experience, because I was worried that it wasn't a big deal to you and that it wasn't, as deep of an experience and a wound as it was for me, for you. So it was a relief to see you kind of let your wall down and let it out. And, I've been sharing a little bit about the experience, if you're okay with it.
I'm okay talking about it.
Yeah.
I'm okay.
Yeah. So like with that night, we just, cried it out for a couple hours, and then I remember us being in the bedroom. I don't remember how the painting got brought up, but that was really special for me. I don't know if that was as impactful for you, but tell them a little bit about the painting before.
So yeah, I've definitely been in a painting mood these last couple months. I kind of switched gears from different artistic pursuits pretty often, but uh, as we learned about the baby, I made this little painting where I was kind of just keeping track of all the little developments. I thought it would be cool to be able to look back and you know yeah, we're looking at this baby app every week, and the baby's getting uh, it's growing 100 brain cells a minute, or it's got a spleen or something. I was just kind of writing down thoughts that I thought were funny, and things that were happening. So I thought it would be kind of cool to just taking notes and just trying to follow along, I guess, in my own way.
Yeah.
And so I mean, every week I was kind of drawing a doodle of what the baby was looking like, and I was thinking at the end of it, it would, maybe I could, kind of keep working on it until I felt it was done. So I'll go grab it actually.
Okay.
Kind of.
He's hiding all his amazing art behind that curtain. Like right behind there, there's like 40 paintings.
It's very, very unfinished, and I don't think it'll ever be finished. But we both kind of wrote our thoughts on it. I'm too close to the camera right now, but we kind of took some time to almost like journaling on the canvas.
Yeah, I remember we
kind of a way to get some closure out of it, or at least for me it was very helpful.
It was really helpful for me too.
Kind of felt like a little bit of relief and closure, but I know that for you, I mean, at that point, it was still inside. So I, totally
Yeah.
different experience.
Yeah.
For
So this
two.
was Wednesday night. So this was 2 days before our DNC surgery. And yeah, we lit some Shabbat candles, and we said some intentions and some words over the candles, and we're laying in bed, and you brought up the painting and asked me if I wanted to take a look at it, and I asked you to bring it up to the bedroom, and then we started just doodling on it, and it was really really helpful. It was really, really helpful. It was helping me articulate my thoughts. It was helping me take my mind off of the monkey mind a little bit. Like it was very allowing of me to like let it out instead of like having like partial thoughts like bouncing around, and just kind of like doing what they do and how they like morph into other thoughts and like get caught in between a thought. And it was allowing me to just kind of like express it completely, like as a whole sentence and as like a physical thing. And so that was really good for me, and I saw that it was really good for you, and it was very good. It was very intimate. It was very good for us to experience together. Like we're in our bed, in our home. Like it was warm, it was comfortable, like, and it felt good to like release it as a couple. And
Yeah.
And the next day we went to the park and we went to some running water. Was that Belle Isle? We didn't go to Belle Isle that day. Did we go to Belle Isle that day?
Your favorite park?
Oh, the JC Park. So we went to a park that I have like a lot of like long time memories with, and sat by the running water and went into nature and just hung out for a bit. And we went and got matching tattoos and designed a tattoo together to represent our family unit that, is like forever a part of our experience. And, I don't know, that was healing too in its own way, where it was kind of like putting a completion, like this is something that has started and stopped, has begun and ended. For me at least, like almost all of my tattoos are commemorative or memorial style tattoos anyway. And so for me, it was like, this is a completion of that experience. And doing it with you was very unexpected, like completely unexpected.
I don't have tattoos.
Now you do.
Yeah.
Now you do. You're a tattoo guy now.
I have tattoos, singular.
You have tattoo. I mean, and it was fun, it was like a cool environment, and it was a shakeup of what we were doing because we've been in the house, and we got to do something new. I got to coach you on how to be like a good tattoo receiver, and that was fun. And it made me, I still to this day makes me laugh. You were like, yeah, bro, I'm a screamer. So it's like,
yeah, he's very stoked. He didn't laugh at all.
I laughed. Like, so
just don't move.
It's like scream but don't move. So like it, even through all of it, like we were still expressing ourselves and communicating with one another and checking in and feeling our feelings. And both of us the whole time we're like, what is the lesson that we're learning, like from the day one? Like what have we learned? What are we what are we taking from this situation? And like the whole time I was just so like just impressed by that we were able to like speak that way and act that way and move in that energy, even though we were like actively losing our child. And like it just made me feel like we are parents. We're not no longer parents. We grew up a lot in the scenario. Like we grew up from the day we found out to the day we found out, and it's like each one was like this just very revealing experience of like, we are ready for this. Like we are actively like doing all the things to become ready for this. And feeling prepared, like scared, but prepared. Like, we've been working on ourselves and our marriage and our family dynamic and our vision and our mission and what do we stand for? I feel like we've been working for that and trying to figure that out for so many years, like since we met each other and before. And like, what are our values? What are our morals? What do we stand by? And I feel like sharing it with everybody was a reminder of like what we bring to the table as a family. Like everybody's like, oh, this baby's going to be so smart and so this and so that and so cool and so chill. And and it was just a reflection of like what experience that these people have with us, because we get called mom and dad all the time, like not even like before we even found out that we were having a baby. Like for years people call us mom and dad, and like it just was like one of those experiences. And then for on the tail end of it, for people to still find community and peace and like a sense of relief through our experience by us sharing it, and us finding like peace within each other. And I don't know, I'm just really proud of us, and I'm just really like, I'm proud of you, and I'm so glad that you're my partner. And I don't know, I just feel really lucky. Like,
I'm proud of you too.
Yeah, we did things. And we've been working really hard, and it shows. It's like it shows when crisis happens, these are the people that we are. And it just makes me feel like very like we've done the work. We're doing the work. We're actively doing the work. But it's like I remember
we also have a good support system too.
Yeah, amazing family, amazing friends. Got so many little gifts along the way, and I think it's because we said something, and I feel like if there's any message that I want to share is like, don't why hide any of it, because I wouldn't have been able to celebrate the baby had we not talked about them so much, and I wouldn't be mourning and grieving with a community had I not told everybody that it was the experience that I was having. And I can't imagine like going to work and pretending that I wasn't pregnant, or pretending like I'm not grieving, or pretending like I'm not hurting, yeah, it just like, I'm just really proud of us. Like, I'm proud of you, and I'm honored to be your wife, and I'm honored to have mothered your child, and honored to mother your future children and be a parent with you and go through this experience with you, because I don't know, you bring out the best of me. So yeah.
Looking forward to doing it all over again. Maybe not the exact same way, but
right. Very different. Hopefully we do this again, but very, very different. I mean, we almost bought a house. Like the week of the clothing swap, we almost bought a house. We'll just put it that way. Like we've been like, it was like we turned into parents right away. We're like, we need them to have their own bedroom. We need to be by a good school. Like the house that we almost bought was like right across the street from a park and 1 block away from the elementary school. It was like the most adult thing that we had ever done. We were, other than like have a child. It was like, we're going to buy this house. This is the house we're going to buy. Like, okay, let's do it. We're so excited about it, but we had been preparing for that. We were ready for that, It just didn't work out in that scenario. And I'm kind of glad overall that it worked out the way it worked out in that particular circumstance. But we did so many things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love you, and I'm so proud of you. And, looking forward to, doing more and more growing, and I don't know. I'm looking forward to doing more.
What's next for you, Lebree Jones? What's in the next chapter? We're flipping a page. Where do we go from here?
like I said, we gotta stay focused on kind of the big picture. So, you know, looking for that next location to live. Uh, 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 but I guess looking at uh, you know, uh, what's next for me is paintings. I'll say that. I'll say that. What's next for me is paintings.
I
I'm
love it.
gonna put together some type of big show and get these paintings off. But
Good.
it feels weird. I don't know how to come back to sales or I don't even know how to end that.
That's okay. What do you mean? I
Yeah,
mean,
I don't
I
know.
was just asking what's next for you and like where do
But
you see it going? I feel like art is the way. Like I feel like,
yeah,
what we found in our time of crisis was a relief through our art, and that was what you were seeking it out, and the world needs to see what you're creating, and life doesn't stop. And what I've learned from this experience is that life is short and we only
yeah,
get one chance, if that, and we've been blessed to have that one chance. And why play small? Why play hiding? Why not? And for me, like I really want to focus on maintaining my health. Like I really took a turn when it came to like eating better, and I want to start moving better. And so once the cough is gone,
yeah,
hitting the gym and being strong. I want to be strong. I want to be
yeah,
strong. I want to be a strong girl. I know I'm a
yeah.
strong girl. I just want to be like a muscular, veiny, strong girl.
Hell, yeah. Get masculine out
But
here.
yeah, exactly. But like I want to do more stuff like this. I want to have a TV show. I want to own a business. I want to open a building. I'm applying for the retail boot camp at Tech Town. Today's the
Yeah,
last day, so I'm going to finish that, and more adventure, more risk taking, cuz like why not? That's where I'm
yeah.
at. Just like go for the goal. Play big, experience life, adventure, experiment, try, win, fail, all of the stuff.
Let's go.
I love you so much.
I love you too.
Okay, that was a beautiful conversation. And I'm really, really grateful you guys all shared space with us. Um, and all of the things. Lebree Jones, where can people find you?
I am on Instagram as Breezomatic. That's BreezeOmatic, and that's where I'm
Awesome. And do you have any shows coming up or any like performances that you want to share? No,
at. No,
it's okay. We'll share some more later once you get them on the books because I know they're coming.
hell,
And you can find me on Instagram at amandasweet.live or at the Revamp Detroit. We're going to be doing another clothing spot May 11th. And we'll be doing another brand ambassador shoot. So that's your next show is May 11th at least. We're looking for brand ambassadors. We're looking for volunteers. We're looking for collaborators. So come hang out with us. Join our family. We have a big one going. So you're welcome here. We appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for watching. It's the Let's Glow Show. Amanda Sweet, the Creative Fairy Godmother, and we'll see you next week.